Welcome to Momentum Moments. I'm Brandon Richards. There is not a person alive who has not felt pain. Every single one of us. It does not matter who you are, where you came from, what your life looks like from the outside. At some point, something has hurt bad enough that you could not ignore it. Maybe it was physical, a broken bone, a chronic condition that never fully lets up, arthritis that makes you move differently than you used to, or migraine headaches that shut everything down and put you in a dark room and there's nothing you can do but wait. The kind of physical pain that is just always there, that you've learned to manage around, that has quietly changed the shape of your daily life. Or it is the kind that lives inside, grief, loss, the weight of watching something you built come completely apart, relationships gone, years gone, and the life you thought you were building, gone. The mental torment that comes from trying to rebuild from nothing while everything in you is still raw. We all know what that feels like, and we all know what happens next. Something in you starts looking for a way out of it. And there's a whole system in place that is very good at offering you exactly that. In John 10:10, Jesus says, "The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy." He is talking about false shepherds, systems and people that come into your life, not to serve you, but to take from you. And Jesus names who is behind all of it. In John 12:31, he calls Satan the ruler of this world. These systems are his agents. The industry built around your pain, the thing that shows up right where you are hurt and offers you relief, it is not neutral. There is a ruler behind it, and he knows exactly what it is costing you. And the entry point is always the same. It's real pain, legitimate pain, okay? Nobody reaches for something to dissolve the day because life is fine. They reach because something genuinely hurts, and relief is right there and available. The word the Bible uses for this is pharmakia. It is a Greek word that appears in Galatians 5:20, listed among the works of the flesh alongside sorcery. It shows up again in Revelations 9:21 and Revelations 18:23. It refers to the use of substances in the context of spiritual manipulation, reaching for another comforter, another healer, something other than God to bring relief. We call alcohol spirits for a reason. This connection between substances and spiritual deception is not a modern idea. It is in the text. And I'm not standing here telling you it is wrong to take something for a headache. That is not what this is. What I'm saying is that there is a device that knows exactly where you hurt, and it will offer you relief that costs you things you will not notice until later. Time, presence, and energy. And the wound does not move. You just stop being present with it for a while, and then more time passes. And you look up and years are gone, and the thing that started it is still sitting right there inside you untouched. Every one of us has been given the same things to steward here: time, energy, and resources. That is what we have to work with. And addiction, substance use, anything you are running to just to not be present with the pain will drain all three systematically. An addict will spend everything he has, all of his time, all of his energy, everything he owns, and everything he was supposed to build, not because he is weak, but because the pain was real and the relief was right there and the cost was hidden. This is the steal before the kill. And I'm still in this, and there are days where the grief from what I have lost is heavy enough that the option to go back to something that would dissolve the day is right there. And I know where it is. I know it would work for a few hours, and I know what it would take from me, so I don't. But I want to tell you what I do instead, because this is not just about what you stop reaching for. It is about what you reach toward, okay? Jesus said in John 14:16, "I will ask the Father, and he will give you another comforter to be with you forever." And then in John 16:7, he says, It is to your advantage that I go away. For if I do not go away, the Comforter will not come to you. But if I go, I will send him to you. Jesus said it is better, not just okay, but better, because what he was sending was not comfort from a distance. It was presence. The Holy Spirit as Comforter with a capital C. It's not a feeling, it's a person, and one who does not leave when the pain does not. In Isaiah 61:1, which Jesus reads aloud in the synagogue in Luke 4:18, says, "He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted." That word brokenhearted in the Hebrew is shavar. It means shattered, not sad. It means shattered to pieces. And he came specifically for that. Jesus did not come to describe it from the outside. He actually entered into that. His body was literally broken, and Jesus cried out from the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And he wasn't performing for people. That was a man in agony in the darkest place with nothing coming back to him, shattered in his own body, so that when you bring your pain to him, you are not bringing it to someone who has only observed suffering from a distance. You're bringing it to the one who went all the way into it first. And then he took bread and broke it and said, "This is my body, broken for you." 1 Corinthians 11 tells us that when you take communion without discerning what that broken body actually means, without being fully present to what it cost and what it carries, it does not do what it was meant to do. Paul says some were weak and sick because of it, but taken rightly with a full awareness, it carries something. It is the physical act of reaching toward him, taking in what his brokenness actually purchased for you. That is the counter to everything this episode has been describing. Instead of reaching for something that removes you from the pain, you reach for the one who entered it. Instead of dissolving your presence, you bring your full presence to him. That is what seeking him first actually looks like. And then there's this. In Luke 10:19, Jesus says, "Behold, I give you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you." Serpents and scorpions, those hidden things, circumstances that bite, the stuff that comes at you sideways that you didn't see coming, the things underneath the surface of your life that have been working against you quietly. You have been given authority over that. Not authority you built or earned. It's authority given to you. So you're not just comforted inside the pain. You're equipped to move through what is in it. This was always the original intent. It wasn't religion. It wasn't a ritual. This was a father who wants his kids to come to him when they are hurting. That is what Abba means. Not a distant God managing outcomes from somewhere else, but a father. And the door has been open the whole time. And I want to be clear about something before I close this. I'm not telling you to refuse help. Thank God for doctors. Thank God for medicine. And thank God for treatment and for the people who have given their lives to understand how to bring relief to the suffering. That is God's grace expressed through human hands. And I'm not standing here telling you to walk away from it. What I am saying is do not leave him out of it. Do not manage the pain through every available means and never once bring it to the one who entered it first. Go to the doctor, get your help, and bring it to God and cry out and let the Comforter into the actual place. Let him lead what comes next, because under his authority and his guidance, everything else finds its right place. Without him, you're just managing things. And managing will keep you alive sometimes, but it will not bind up what has been shattered. And here's a simple way to know the difference. Please listen. If you are reaching for something and you cannot do it as if God were right there in the room with you, if his presence would change what you're about to do, that is worth paying attention to. This isn't condemnation. This is just being honest. But if you can bring it before him and you can receive it under his lead and stay present with him through it, That is a different posture entirely. That is seeking him first, and that is what this is about. The pain was never the enemy. It was the indicator. It was pointing you toward him. And when you actually bring it to him, not after you've managed it, not after you have tried everything else, when you bring it to him first, he does not make you feel better for a few hours and leave you where he found you. He binds up what is shattered. He sends the comforter into the actual place, and he gives you authority over the things inside it that were trying to take you down. That is what was always supposed to happen with pain. I'm Brandon. This is your Momentum Moment.